warm welcome to Public Global. I'm Neelu Vyas. Now, American President Donald Trump has posted an artificial intelligence created video on his Truth Social account, which shows the vision of Gaza as a Rivera style resort featuring a dictator style golden statue of himself and hummus eating Elon Musk. Now, this is something which is so unthinkable. This video has infuriated people. Some are surprised as to what really Donald Trump wants to do with Gaza. Now, the video has also showed a shirtless Donald Trump sipping cocktails with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on a beach alongside images of skyscrapers and luxury yachts. Now, to this video, there are a lot of reactions. People have reacted, but the most important reaction has come from Bassem Naim, who's the spokesperson and Hamas political bureau member. And he has said, and I'm going to quote him what exactly he has said, that unfortunately Trump is once again proposing ideas that do not take into account the cultures and interests of the people. Then he goes on to say that people of Gaza are looking forward to the day when they see Gaza rebuilt, economically revived, and building a better future for its children. But this cannot succeed inside the big prison. We are not struggling to improve prison conditions, but to get rid of the prison and the jailer. This is what the Hamas spokesperson has said. Now, what has really happened is also something which needs to be understood. Now, the American president has proposed a development plan for Gaza, which involves expelling about 2.1 million Palestinians from the enclave and transforming it into a Rivera that would be owned by the United States. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had backed this plan, calling it creative and saying it had the potential to change Gaza. However, he said that the displaced Gazans must disavow terrorism and if they wanted to return. So the main challenge, he had said, is to find a country that would host the Gazans and suggested a Palestinian state could be formed in Saudi Arabia. Now, what has happened? How is the the Arab leaders, they are also trying to formulate a response to Donald Trump's plan for Gaza. And I'm told that the leaders are all set to meet in Cairo on March 4th to discuss the plan and will likely present it to the American president at a later date. So there are some people who are laughing at this video, some are infuriated, but what is Donald Trump really up to? And why did he put out a video like this? Is it not insulting? Is it not demeaning the people of Gaza? We'll try and understand the mindset of Donald Trump and also what he plans to do with Gaza. Joining me now is international affairs expert and veteran journalist Sanjay Kapoor. Thank you so much, Sanjay, for joining. And this video is actually repulsive. A golden statue of Donald Trump, a Rivera style of, scene in the way he wants to rebuild Gaza. What does it really show about Donald Trump, and what is the kind of message he's putting out before the world today?
Really scandalous. I never expected something so bizarre coming out from his head. But the truth is that Donald Trump is very different. He looks at things very differently. He's transactional. He thinks that he's finding a way out of the mess or the conflict that has been there in this region for a while. He thinks that, by showing visions of Gaza as a Rivera, as a place for the rich and famous, he would be able to please the people of Gaza, who has actually been hammered out of shape in the bombing that has taken place over the last many months. But he is totally unmindful. He thinks that the way out is a promise of good times. And that is where he thinks the response of his government really resides. He is doing a deal similar to this in different ways with even Ukraine and with Zelensky. He's saying, you give me all your precious materials, metals and everything, and then I'll give you some freedom or something like that. It's almost like putting pressure on Zelensky to stand on his knees and get the deal done. So here too, if you look at it, Netanyahu doesn't have the guts to say, but this is absolutely preposterous. Why should we lose claim over this? He's happy to hand over, but nobody's talking about the people of Gaza. They may not be allowed inside. It may be a property which is being created, which can be sold to the real estate guys in very big money, and they would be very happy with whatever has been done. But the fear is the people who will discuss, the Arab leaders, they might be not so firm in stopping Mr. Trump do something, because they're more or less very similar to the mindset that Mr. Trump represents. They're all autocrats. They are not democrats in any ways. They don't have any kind of feel of the ground. They know that if they want to keep their jobs, if they want to keep their positions, they need to be on the right side of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is going to take advantage of this. Last time he put a real coalition together, Abraham Accord he created just to ensure that the Israelis were on a firm footing. So this will be the next step after Abraham Accord, which he wants to bring in, get the Arabs to find a solution for the Palestinian land, turn it into the playground for the rich and famous, and see that it works. And he thinks that he can make the people, the suffering people of Gaza, settle down either in Saudi Arabia or in Egypt. He, in fact, threatened Egypt that if they don't keep these people, then he would take a different view of them. So nobody wants to rub the Americans and especially Donald Trump on the wrong side. They
No,
don't have
but
the
what
to do
is
that.
the kind of backlash which can be expected from within? I mean, from the Palestinians, I'm sure they will resist. They have a certain idea in their mind, and especially in Gaza, what has happened. How do you think that the people are going to react when if Donald Trump takes over? Are they going to be happy with it? I mean, I really don't know how that could pan out.
No, the fact of the matter is that the people don't matter. It's all about land. If you look at it in all the areas which are under conflict, even in our own country, people like land, but not the people. They would like them to go away. And same with Gaza. They would want these people to either settle down in Saudi Arabia or Egypt or wherever, not show their faces. And they like the land, the sea, which is there, which is in their reckoning, not tapped to to the extent it should. It become a place where five-star hotels can come, and the peace will also return. Once you thrown the people out, there'll be no conflict. So you asking me how will the people react? I'm not very sure whether they can do very much. It can be a long drawn out conflict, but we have seen what the Israelis are capable of doing. They will bomb the people out of shape, and they have killed so many people. They'll kill more because they have been treated as subhuman beings.
Absolutely. No, but looking at the way the Hamas spokesperson has reacted, do you think that this particular video, after Donald Trump has put out on his Truth social media account, does this bring the ugliest side of Donald Trump? And so fast, I mean, as soon as he takes over the presidency and a repulsive video like this comes out, and I'm sure he's not done it out of ignorance, he's done it deliberately with a certain plan. And is he now going to be categorized in in the bracket of loonies, psychopaths? I mean, I don't know what all words to use.
I'm not very sure that people are going to share your views about Donald Trump. They would think that he has a certain vision, that is plan for peace, and he might get endorsement from many of the Arab world. For all you know, they might resist for the time being, but that's Mr. Trump for you. He's a man from of the real estate. He's a businessman, very transactional, and if he's promising peace and some kind of a life beyond the bombing that Mr. Netanyahu unleashed on this region, they might just take it. For all you know, that is a whole bloody problem, because if they take it, then similar kind of offers would start being tossed around in the areas under conflict, and there'll be no respect for people's demand for sovereignty, for self-determination, and for all those issues that people fight for. They give up their lives.
True, but I would like to discuss this as well, because if you look at the video carefully, and we'll play it out, that if you look at the video very carefully, it's got certain lines. Donald's coming to set you free. Then Trump, Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light, feast and dance. The dead is done. There is a voice which sings in the background as a bearded and a bikini clad belly dancers and a child holding a golden balloon in the shape of Trump's head appearing on the screen. Do you think, Sanjay, really that this is really, really normal?
That's normal for Trump's world. This is not normal for people like you and me. It is not normal for the Arabs. But this is normal, especially for Donald Trump. And he thinks that being free means doing all those things that you have just described. Women dancing in bikini and doing all kinds of salsa and doing funny things on the beach. So he thinks that if that this is the life he can promise to the suffering masses, they will lap it up. And I don't know, but the most probably the people will not come back to wherever something like this is happening. How will he do it? What is the time frame? So these are issues that are not being discussed, but don't rule it out, because it has the backing of Netanyahu, and they would try to build something called the IMEC, in which India is also a participant. They will ensure that there is no disturbance caused by the Palestinians. It's all part of a larger plan. Saudi Arabia is also there. So when you have something like this, and it has the approval of large mass of people in that region, I don't put it beyond them. It could be just a, the kind of video that you're seeing now, maybe with some kind of corrections. But Elon Musk is there, Donald Trump is there, and many builders are going to back it. Even Mr. Adani, for that matter.
But now, what is the kind of message which the world will get, or rather, forget the message? What is the world really going to lose? And I'm sure this Cairo meeting, which is going to take place on March 4th, this video actually is a precursor to tell what Donald Trump has in mind. But if this plan is materialized somehow, what do you think the world is really going to lose?
I think what the world is going to lose in a really big way is humanity. They would not be, in a certain way, be bothered about all these human issues, the values which have driven civilization for all this while. Instead, what will be on offer is what is going to make money. Profit is going to drive solutions such as these, and everything will revolve around how much money you can make. And they think that the salvation for a large number of people relies largely on how much profit they make, not on whether how much freedom they get. So you find that this is not going to just impact on a piece of land in Gaza, but it's going to even impact newspapers. It will impact TV channels. It will impact everything. Everything will be profit driven, like it has happened in today's in Washington Post. I mean, the opinion editor has been asked to go out. He's been turfed out because the owner says that he should have an opinion page which only shows something that he wants. So those kind of things never crossed people's mind till the time you had an environment, a facilitating environment created by Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
I'm just wondering that how bad the things can go from here, and if Donald Trump is some kind of, he looks like some kind of a big disruptor. And the moment he took over as the president, and this is what the discussions we had done all along, and he's proving it with every passing day that he's becoming a bigger disruptor with every passing day. What worse can we really expect and see? This is just one example of it.
I am not so certain, not so black and white, because what is also coming out in the open is the disruption caused by his predecessor and others. I mean, how they went about sending colossal amount of money, disrupting lives. I mean, if you think of it, there's been an endless war which is going on in Europe. You don't know when it's going to end. You don't know what is going to happen to Gaza, and that's all happened when his predecessor was in power. So if the peace returns, what is the nature of peace it will be? That is where we are talking about. That is the issue that bothers us. That you're giving up certain values. But what has been created in the past was something totally obnoxious. It kind of trapped the world in a situation where we were comfortable with endless war, with people dying in colossal numbers and without any solution. So Mr. Trump is providing a solution which we don't agree with. It's not something that is desirable. But having said that, what Mr. Biden was doing was also not very something kosher in many ways.
But what do you think are the big takeaways from this AI generated video, and how is India going to react? What could be the takeaways for Prime Minister Modi? Are we going to have similar dreams? Are we going to be putting out some similar videos? Because it's quite a strange one, and we've not seen it like ever before. And Trump putting it out
Absolutely.
is Trump putting it out, which means that it's going to go down as something, as an example which other countries might just follow.
I entirely agree with you. I mean, what really disturbs me about my country is that we don't take a stand on many issues. I mean, if you look at it, we have to figure out. I would be very pleasantly surprised if the Prime Minister or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs decides to take a stand on this. They like it or they don't like it. All depends how they see it. But if they oppose it, I would be very pleasantly surprised. But it seems very unlikely
No,
because we have
but
been deeply
look at
invested in
the
Palestine.
emphasis. Sanjay, look
Sorry.
at the helplessness of the world. Here you have almost like a dictator, the American president who puts out a repulsive video, and nobody even has the audacity to object it. I mean, there are people writing on the social media, but diplomatically, are we not going to see any kind of protest over it, or is everybody just going to watch silently?
So this is the big tragedy of this time. There is no sense of outrage as to whatever is happening. I mean, did you see a big, you can say, a protest or a demonstration when Gaza was being bombed? Did you see it in your country? Did you have people stepping out? You did not see. So why would they step out now or express outrage when something so pleasant and something so like a fairy tale is being played out in Gaza? So we have become a world which is totally immune from anything that can disturb us. We think that it's all an Instagram reel that we are seeing, and everything will turn out the way we want it. But rather disturbed, primarily because there are some countries, there are some movements in the world we need to stand up and take notice of what Mr. Trump is doing. They must oppose. They must oppose for reasons of the poor of the world who need better attention, more attention than these idiotic videos which don't lead anywhere.
uh, can India not play a role in this? Or India, you think is, I'm not talking about other countries, but India specifically, can they really play a role in this war torn zone now and also preventing Trump in any way? Or they are just going to be looking like a silent bystander that, okay, we'll let Trump have his own way, and I mean, we are not concerned with it.
My contention is that India had the opportunity to take the leadership of the world, which is slowly getting disenfranchised, the poor and the needy. We were the leaders of the non-aligned movement, but over the last maybe 10, 15 years, we have progressively devalued it. So we may go for the non-aligned conference, but we don't really matter. We don't really do anything in BRICS also because we get persuaded by the Americans to even minimize or devalue our role in the BRICS compact. So I am not very sure how we will do it because we may take a stand, but how many people are going to listen to us? We've lost that kind of influence. So that is where I think we have a failing.
But it's really sad to see this video put out by Donald Trump, and rather, I mean, more sad to see, how the entire world looks so helpless, and people just commenting on the social media, but not much being done about it. Really unfortunate, but I'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Sanjay, for joining on this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking with me on this. Thank you.